Business news: the president of Dangote Group, Mr. Aliko Dangote, has refuted claims that petroleum products from his refinery are substandard, emphasizing that the products from the refinery are the best. Mr. Aliko made this disclosure when a delegation of the House of Representatives visited the refinery for an on-ground assessment. Frank Omalape was there and brought back this report.
The Dangote Refinery played host to members of the House of Representatives, led by the Speaker, Mr. Tajuddin Abbas, and Deputy Speaker, Mr. Benjamin Kalu. They are at the facility on a fact-finding mission, following claims by the regulator that petroleum products from the refinery are substandard. Mr. Dangote guided the lawmakers through various sections of the facility, offering detailed explanations of the refinery's processes and operations. To demonstrate the refinery's commitment to quality, different tests were conducted comparing the sulfur content in diesel from other filling stations with that of the Dangote refinery using an energy dispersive X-ray fluorescence spectrophotometer. According to Mr. Dangote, the quality of petroleum products produced at his refinery is second to none.
In terms of quality, we are doing very, very well. Nobody can produce anything better than us. We want anybody to go to any filling station and buy. We'll test for you free of charge. It takes us maximum of 5 to 10 minutes. We'll give you all the parameters. And our own parameters today, we want to announce to the Nigerians it is extremely very good parameters.
He also stressed the importance of independently verifying the quality of imported petroleum products sold in Nigeria to ensure they meet established standards, urging the regulatory agency to confirm his claims.
We want to plead with the regulator to come at any time, whether Sunday or Monday. We'll take the sample, and I guarantee you before he gets here, our own ppm will be even below 10.
The lawmakers, impressed by the presentation, expressed their support for the Dangote Group and pledged to initiate investigations into the substandard claims out there.
As we stand shoulder to shoulder with you in overcoming these challenges, we recognize that it is our duty, not just as legislators, but as stewards of our nation's prosperity, to deploy every necessary legislative instrument available to us.
We have seen it completed. We've seen a lot of work going on, but some are still arguing there are a certain percentage that is yet to be taken care of. But obviously, it's not 45% done. What we have seen here is beyond what is being alleged out there. So you need to clear that.
According to Mr. Dangote, the product from his refinery is currently at 35 ppm and is expected to drop to 10 ppm by August. Frank Omalape, TVC News, Lagos.
The Steering Committee of Nigeria's National Single Window Project is rallying stakeholders and agencies to support the federal government's aspirations of having the project operation in Nigeria. Head of the project secretariat, Mr. Tola Fakolade, emphasized this during the courtesy visit to the Nigerian Shippers Council headquarters in Lagos. TVC News senior business correspondent Ifunaya Eze reports.
Highlighting the project's significance, Mr. Tola Fakolade underscored the Nigerian Shippers Council's crucial role in realizing the national single window. He outlined benefits such as increased government revenue, boosted foreign investment, higher trade volumes, and streamlined automation processes.
In terms of ease of doing business, Nigeria, we want to improve our rating because a part of the reason why the rating is low is because our import and our clearing lead time is still in the double digits from the sea. I think the last data I have is it can still take between 2 to 3 weeks to get containers out of the port, and in countries that have implemented single window many years ago, there are countries that are doing this in 48 hours.
Responding to the committee's visit, Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Mr. Pius Akuta, affirmed their commitment to backing the project's implementation. He urged all agencies to embrace automation for more efficient operations.
The world is moving towards automation. Autonomous ships already launched in other parts of the world. People are already building infrastructure underneath the sea to charge and power ships that are moving on their own. And then you look at the advantages of technology also today, like he rightly said, it's going to raise the revenue profile of the country, which is what we are looking at.
Mr. Akuta expressed optimism about the national single window's potential benefits, aligning with the government's efforts to diversify the economy away from oil. He also mentioned the council's anticipation of his bill to enhance regulatory activities.
As the Nigerian Shippers Council, we are getting set. Once we have our law in place, we want to quickly begin to work together with all the other stakeholders, both public and private stakeholders, to see how we can begin the regulatory regime that will bring about efficiency in the system.
The National Steering Committee, inaugurated by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says it remains dedicated to ensuring the successful establishment of the national single window across Nigeria. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called for inclusion of fishery and poultry subsectors to the newly instituted Livestock Ministry. President of the Chamber, Mr. Gabriel Idahosa, said this at the second quarter press briefing to address the state of the economy. The LCCI urges the federal government to tackle the problem of insecurity, which has continued to threaten productive activities in the real economic sector.
Growth in the first quarter was primarily driven by the non-oil sector, which recorded a growth of 2.8% and contributed 93.62% to the GDP. In particular, the fastest growing sectors in the economy include solid minerals, finance and insurance, oil and gas, information and communication technology, arts, entertainment, and recreation. The first quarter GDP report showed growth in agriculture, Nigeria's largest single economic sector and employer, was very weak at 0.18% compared to 2% in the previous quarter. This reflects a marginal growth of 1.7% in crop production and contributed over 91% of total output in the sector. The livestock and fishery subsectors recorded very weak performance. We expect to see some improvement in these subsectors with the creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development by the federal government.